If you've ever studied primate behavior, you'll know that baboons and other primates have a not-so-complex dominance hierarchy where violence gets sent down the line from alpha to beta to gamma and so on. Getting to the top of the pile isn't complicated. Good genes, the right age, be bigger and stronger than everybody else. The thing is, the hierarchy runs linearly and is rarely ever challenged. So who's ever top dog doesn't beat up a tertiary individual, it's wasted energy. Instead, they will pick on whoever is right below them in the dominance hierarchy, the beta, to cement their status. The beta, instead of gathering an army of subordinates to revolt and unseat the alpha, just turns around and beats down on whoever is next in line, and so on. Some weeks ago, I published a video about Civ VII's feedback problem. In it, I talk about how a feedback group known as MinMaxers were a cohort that Civ developers took excessive consideration in satisfying when they designed the latest version of the game. My very brief discussion about MinMaxers caught the attention of many viewers. I received 3 types of comments regarding my views on MinMaxers and their role in shaping Civ VII. 1. Husky, you're absolutely right. MinMaxers are the worst. 2. Husky, you're right. I'm a MinMaxer, and although I enjoy min-maxing, I would never design a game around satisfying someone like me. And 3. Husky, you mother piece. Or the way I heard it, how dare you attack my identity? When someone has so visceral a reaction to something you've said, you can feel damn sure that you hit the nail on the head and struck at their core. It's their very defensive way of agreeing with you. And if you're thinking, but Husky, I watched that video and I didn't see any comments like the one you just described, just know that for YouTubers, there's a special comments folder called Held. In it is all the comments I wouldn't dare show on YouTube because YouTube flags them for containing topics or phrasing that might be considered too violent or offensive. I'm a pretty easygoing guy, but also a glutton for punishment, apparently, and I open that Pandora's box from time to time. It's amazing the things people will say when they neither know you or are actually standing right in front of you. Needless to say, that particular video has become one of my most disliked, but it's also one of my most liked, so go figure. Hey, I like to think that when 9 out of 10 people are on your side and patting you on the back, you've done something right. So instead of shy away from the topic, I'm going to lean in, as I said I would do in the video. So let's talk about why min-maxers were such a problem for Civ VII. And just remember, hear me now. Min-maxers have their uses for all sorts of games. Min-maxers in and of themselves are not a problem. What I stated was the problem was how some subsets of players of Civilization games became preoccupied with ways of playing the game that developers did not intend. And instead of curbing those unintended playstyles, developers rallied around a set of popular memes generated by players who might identify as min-maxers and leaned into their interests, producing a game designed around delivering these players the rush they sensed would satisfy them. Oh, and if you've clicked on this video, never saw the previous one, and have no idea what I'm talking about, I'll leave a link to the previous video in the description. If you're one of the folks who checked out the previous video and aren't afraid to take a deeper dive, then hold on tight and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, take it away, Ernie. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Buckle up or grab your emotional support animal because it could get a little bumpy. Just remember, even if I get emotional, I'm here to entertain.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
So remember to laugh and try to enjoy. It's not about you, at least not specifically. Remember to gamble responsibly.
Work hard and stay in school.
Welcome to Civilization Stories, where we explore alternatives to history through the lens of the most addictive video game. More than a few people have left comments on my channel calling me a hater, specifically a hater of Civ VII. If this is you, I invite you to Google something called the Dunning-Kruger effect. I trust that the folks that leave said comments are just bots, but I can never know for sure. So if you're sitting there believing that I am a Civ VII hater and thinking to yourself, hey, I'm not a bot, then go look that up because fans of my channel will know, and I'll repeat it again here, that I don't hate Civilization. I love it. And that's what makes it so hard. So calling my videos hate videos, well, it hurts a little, especially since I'm not well equipped to hate. I was bullied in school long before there were campaigns and zero tolerance policies aimed at stopping it. I took my share of shiners and spent my time crying over how I was treated. It's part of why I'm so emotional. Now, I know that the internet is not a place for decorum, and this is not a call to do better. I prefer to think of what I do with my channel as an investigation into joy. I try to reflect on the things in the world that bring joy, understand why and how they do that, and then try to articulate it so that, hopefully, with greater understanding, more joy can spread in the world. Civ 6 brings me so much joy. In fact, all of the Civs, 1 through 6, -5 on a lot of days, but let's ignore that for now, all of them bring me joy. Civ 7 doesn't bring me nearly as much joy. Why? Good old Teddy will remind you famously that comparison is the thief of joy. Wise words. Anyone familiar with his Man in the Arena speech delivered at the Sorbonne in Paris, France in 1910 will also know that he said, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly." Before I steal credit from MinMaxers, I first want to give credit to the folks at Firaxis, of whom I am so critical, but who are at least the men and women in the arena. And though I feel they failed with Civ VII, I acknowledge them for being those actually in the arena, daring greatly. The rest of us are critics who don't count as much as the doers of deeds. So if you still feel inclined to label me a Civ hater, well, Dunning-Kruger, look it up, or do your worst. It's fine. But going back to joy. Games are meant to bring joy. They don't block the rain from falling on you. They don't fill your belly. They exist only when the more basic of needs are already accounted for. They live at the pinnacle of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and folks struggling to survive are not occupying their time playing Civ. So when I examine Civ VII and question where the joy has gone, I do so with the aim of maximizing joy in Civ and in games in general. To which the easiest comeback is, everyone has their own idea of joy. Okay, no argument from me. I often say that I don't want to confuse my idea of happiness with someone else's. But I do think it's important to examine Civ VII's delivery of joy, also, in a kind of the simplest Jeremy Bentham utilitarian kind of way. I wonder who the first philosophy major out there is going to be to take exception to my use of Jeremy Bentham as the scale upon which to measure Civ VII's accomplishments and failings as his joy delivery system. But anyway, moving on. Let's look specifically at MinMaxers and how they have the potential to rob a game of its joy. After all, that's what we're here for.
Okay, that's it. I don't know how, but she is cheating. No one can be that attractive and this skilled at a video game.
In my previous video, I stated that, to Civ VII's detriment, Civ developers incorporated sensibilities gleaned in the feedback of MinMaxers into Civ VII, making it the game it has become. I used yield porn as my most obvious example to show how it was expanded upon in Civ VII, and made a couple of jokes about how low turn victories and sharing photos of maximized tile yields had become common meme sharing devices in Civ communities. You know, I shouldn't be surprised that there were a few folks who weren't all that thrilled by my "sick yields, bro" quip, but I imagine it's because when they play, they try to win quickly and they try to maximize yields. In some cases, quickly and maximized can take precedent over playing. It means that quickly and maximized are the joy. It's setting out with the end product in mind, because the end is what is shared online to earn the dopamine rush of likes and attention. Trust me, I know what that's about. Why do you think I started a YouTube channel? When I talked about MinMaxers as the feedback problem, I meant it specifically in the context of the feedback they give as through social media channels. If you play a strong game and try to play the strongest game you possibly can, then maybe you're just good. And there's a huge difference. If you want to question my Civ credentials, fine, go ahead. It's fine. I don't see my single player achievements as a competition against others. I'm just trying to have fun. But do you really think that I am passing on the opportunity to have a +5 adjacency campus, hoping to squeeze a few more turns out of a game? Ask yourself if I'm really going to play a game with Nazca in it and not try to find a beautiful place to set up a city in the desert and build Petra if it's feasible. Do you really think I'm not going to build beautiful diamonds of aqueducts, dams, and IZs because I think it's fun to just mince around the map haphazardly, dropping districts just anywhere? I mean, please. When I was younger and first started playing Civ 3, you could save a game at any point and re-roll your odds with a reload. My friend and I played hot seat games together, and yeah, when you lose a rifleman to a warrior, you kind of feel like a re-roll. That's min-maxing, and I'm not proud of it. In his talks, Sid Meier even brags about stymieing this practice by making the dice roll fixed with each reload. I get it. You're supposed to lose riflemen sometimes, but that's not where my head was at the time. And you know what? After some years playing, I got pretty good. So ask yourself this question. Are you a min-maxer, or are you just good? Are you fixated on the outcome because the outcome is what you want to share with your friends? Maybe you're a min-maxer. Do you go to bed at night and think about how your units were set up on your last turn, remember the layout of the terrain, and plan how you will invade and conquer your enemy in the morning? Maybe you're just good. After loading a new game and settling your first city, do you immediately open the tech window and click on advanced flight? Maybe you're a MinMaxer. Do you typically pick horseback riding as your first research goal because you know that horses make for a productive tile and working it will add horses to your stockpile that you can trade or build mounted units with? But then again, not always? Maybe you're just good. Have you calculated that it is optimal to only found 8 cities, remain peaceful at all costs, and maximize amenities through trade to increase bonus percentages on non-food yields? Do you do that instead of getting eurekas for gunpowder, square rigging, or siege tactics, for example? Maybe you're a MinMaxer. Do you recognize that achieving certain eurekas is both free science and helps you build an army that you can use to strengthen your empire by capturing foreign cities, even if maybe it adds a few extra turns to your eventual win? Maybe you're just good. Have you read the script that triggers barb camps from spawning within a certain number of tiles from the Fog of War and limit your exploration of the map to prevent those barbs from spawning? Maybe you're a MinMaxer. Do you accept that barbs spawn and they represent an opportunity to get a level 1 promotion on newly built units? Maybe you're just good. Have you done the math on preserves, knowing that over a set period of turns, tile yields on a fully built preserve district surrounded by forest will be stronger for and cost less science, culture, and production than building campuses, theater squares, and industrial zones? Maybe you're a MinMaxer. Do you believe that preserves look pretty and are useful if you've planned out a culture victory from turn 1 and you're surrounded with perfect terrain that you were somehow able to acquire peacefully? Otherwise, you find them cumbersome and they just eventually get in the way of your best laid plans? Maybe you're just good. Do you believe that a science victory is the ultimate challenge and that achieving it in the lowest number of turns is the pinnacle of skill for a Civ player? Maybe you're a MinMaxer. Do you understand that science victory is the default win condition, the one to fall back on, and achievable when all other paths to victory might be cut off or out of reach? Maybe you're just good. Do you worry about fresh water and city center placement above proximity to resources, knowing that city growth drives yields and that Mohenjo-Daro is the king of city-states because it circumvents the benefits of placing cities next to fresh water? Maybe you're a MinMaxer. Do you occasionally tell yourself, I just need a city here because that's where I can get iron and I want to fight some guys and not get my ass handed to me? Maybe you're just good. Do you start and then restart and keep restarting games of Civ VII, scouring the map in the first 5 to 10 turns, hoping to find vast herds of camels to grab a screenshot of all the resources housed in your cities to post on social media channels? Maybe you're a MinMaxer. Do you bemoan the fact that one of the things that made previous Civ games so good was the quest and the fight to get territory for those precious strategic resources that allowed players to build units that required them, and now all they do is add a dash of combat strength? Maybe you're just good. Do you enjoy playing with the Secret Society's game mode on so you can take a screenshot of your beefed up vampire castles to get a few likes on Reddit? Maybe you're a MinMaxer. Do you play on huge maps with all of the AI and city-state slots filled to crowd the map and pit as many as 80 AI cities to your 1 by turn 5 just for a little extra spice? Maybe you're just good. Do you play with multiple mods designed by folks who aren't you but have manipulated the code to allow you to piggyback on their effort to read the map in unintended ways so as to meticulously plan out the structure of your empire to make sure every single district yield is optimized and not a single orange gear goes to waste? Maybe you're a MinMaxer. Do you allow yourself to play in the moment, having a vague idea of how you would plan your empire but realizing that the AI or a random erupting volcano could thwart your plans at any moment? Maybe you're just good. Do you yawn and brag about how easy it is to defeat the Civ AI and make sure to work it into every comment you post on social media so that whoever you're engaging with online is forced to question their own relationship with the AI and the game's ease or difficulty? Maybe you're a MinMaxer. Or do you set yourself up in a game environment where you can win, but you're tested? Are you looking to find that sweet spot for yourself where skill meets challenge so you can get into that flow state? Shout out to Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, another great Hungarian. If so, maybe you're just good. Do you examine a screenshot with little to no other context and scrutinize the strategies of other players while also telling them about it publicly like a testosterone-laden beta primate, hoping to cement their status by undermining someone else? Maybe you're a MinMaxer. Do you feel comfortable about your exploits playing a game that is meant to bring joy and fun to folks around the world no matter what level you play on? Do you encourage them to punch above their weight and keep challenging themselves while testing out new strategies to see what feels fun for them and can be successful? Maybe you're just good. So ask yourself that question again. Are you a MinMaxer or are you just good? And if you're watching this and saying to yourself, well, I win games sometimes, but I only play on King difficulty, so I'm not very good, or at least not as good as a MinMaxer. If that sounds like you, get it out of your head. You're fine. If you're challenging yourself and finding that sweet spot and you're enjoying the game as it was intended to be played, then you have matched with the developer's intent, and that is gaming. Sure, you can get better, but maybe you're just good. MinMaxers achievements, as they relate to Civ 7, offer players a false impression of what is important, and they steer away from developers' intent, which is to keep you, the player, immersed in the game they made for you, and when challenged, they will try to remind you that you're just not very good.
So to start out, tell me, what's your favorite kind of food?
Pizza?
Oh man, you can't eat pizza. Yeah, no, it's probably one of the worst things you can eat.
How come?
Because of the ingredients in it.
Which ones?
Basically all of them.
All right, I'm cutting this off right now. It's clear you're an idiot and deserve no more of my time.
I played football most of my life, amateur stuff, but at a high level. And yeah, I live in Canada, so a high level for Canada is just a pile of poop compared to proper footballing nations. But you know what always drove me crazy? Were the guys endlessly screaming every 2 seconds after every challenge or bounce of the ball, yelling, "Referee!" Every play from touch was a foul throw in their minds. If a player went to ground, it was a foul, usually for their team. They're players who run around referencing the rule book to get an edge without realizing that if you want to win, you actually have to just shut up and play. Or have you ever been to the gym and seen those guys who are all hepped up on creatine powders and who knows what, and they stand in front of the mirror strategizing how to add just a little more definition to whatever body part? You know what I'm talking about. These are min-maxers in the athletic world. The diet is precise, the workout routines are perfectly scheduled, the supplement timing is all figured out.
The only reason that you're getting in shape is that so you can get through the workout. So we're working out so that we'll be in shape for when we have to do our exercise.
When I was living in Korea, I watched a guy who couldn't have been more than 100 pounds soaking wet, stood as high as my belly button and made of old bones, carry an entire 300-pound refrigerator up 4 flights of stairs. No whey powder, just soju and gimbap, man. That guy was good. Ever heard of Brian Johnson? If you're thinking, dude, that guy is like my idol, ask him to help you move your couch and see if you can get it off the ground. Rather, listen to Anthony Bourdain. Your body isn't a temple, it's an amusement park, so enjoy the ride. Anyway, I think I'm done here. Some of you are probably thinking to yourself, this dum-dum didn't even come around to synthesize his conclusion. You see, there's a little known, or at least little used these days, writing convention known as giving your audience the benefit of the doubt. And well, this is for my audience. My audience doesn't keep their identity wrapped up in the fickle boxes conjured by a legendary game developer, and they understand that your average player is really a blend of all of them and not reducible to the worst, most cringeworthy of their extremes. They're thoughtful and erudite. They understand illusions and nuance. They're clever and witty and are unconcerned about ending a game quickly because they know that enjoying the ride is what life is all about. They're passionate, and it doesn't matter the obstacles laid out in front of them because they know that life's a roller coaster, but they're tall enough to ride. And if they're not, who cares? There's a start new game button and they're not afraid to use it. Whatever audience exists for my channel, they know about joy and how to share it one like at a time. They lift others up, they don't beat them down. They don't have the way they play Civ wrapped up in their identity because win or lose, they're just good. In fact, if you're just good, you're amazing.